on a public level. But I want to give you this final thing. I'm done. I did something different in this message that I'm going to mention to you in a moment. I did something different. But how many people here have cell phones? If you got your cell phone, raise your cell phone. Get your cell phone. Pull it out. Pull out, raise it. I want to see everybody got a cell phone. Throw your cell phone up in the air. Wave it like you just don't care. You got your cell phone. Look at all these cell phones up in here. Oh, who y'all calling in the choir? That's what I want to. Jesus is on the main line. Got your cell phone. The cell phones that we have, in order for those cell phones to be produced, most of the cell phones that we have, you need a mineral called coltan. A mineral called coltan. Much of this mineral comes from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The Congo was at one time was a Belgian colony. In 1960, they declared their independence, and a gentleman by the name of Patrice Lumumba became prime minister. Patrice Lumumba went to Ghana and sat at the feet of the father of Pan-Africanism named Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah is our school down the street is named after the father of Pan-Africanism. And when he realized, sitting down with Kwame Nkrumah, he could go back to the Congo, and the Congo could grow and develop. But because there was so much money at stake, because the majority, one of the richest countries on the planet is the Congo. The Belgium and the U.S. government, it was Dwight Eisenhower, got with the National Security Office, and they said that this man needs to be eliminated. And they passed information to the rebel forces in the Congo. And they found Patrice Lumumba, and they assassinated him. And then a gentleman by the name of Mobutu became to power. And the U.S. gave him over $300 million to oppress his own people, to make sure gold and silver and coltan would continue to flow to Europe and the United States and Australia. And then in 1997, when Mobutu died of cancer, there was another person who came to power by the name of Kabila. And Kabila then eventually died, but a civil war ensued. And in order to finance the civil war, because cell phones were exploding at that time, they would mine coltan. Doesn't seem like much, but in order to, this cell phone you have, the cell phone I have, it has coltan in it. In order to get that coltan, they would kidnap children to mine the coltan in the Congo. In the last 10 years or so, 5.4 million children have been murdered in the Congo. 5.4 million people, I'm sorry, have been murdered in the Congo. Almost 50% of them children. That every time you purchase your cell phone, you finance the oppression of a child, of a country. And there was a particular law that was attempting to be passed in the U.S. Congress that kept dying. It was called the Conflict-Free Coltan Law. So that no company in the United States could receive coltan from the Congo or any other area where children are being used, where it was being financing a civil war, where murder was going on, all of that. And this war that is going on, 5.4 million people. Let me explain it this way. In World War II, 400,000 people died. In the Civil War, 500,000 people. 5.4 million people. Larger than any other conflict, any other war since World War II. More people have died in the Congo than any other conflict in the last 40 years combined. But no one has heard a thing, because it's happening in Africa, in the Congo, and there's so much money at stake. Coltan. So this is what we are asking. I did this last week. We are simply asking that you would do three things. Number one, is that there is a letter that we passed out today that connects with this. That you would sign that letter so that it can go to Dick Durbin so that they can pass this law. The second thing is every Wednesday, every single Wednesday from 12 to 1 and 7 to 8, here's something that is a novel idea. Turn off your cell phone. I mean off, not on vibrate. Turn it off and put on your voicemail why you have turned it off. Why you have turned it off, to educate people about coltan. We're calling this Don't Be a Sellout campaign. C-E-L-L. Don't be a sellout, to finance the oppression of our own people. You're not going to see this on CNN. They will not broadcast it on MSNBC, ABC, CBS, NBC, and Lord knows Fox ain't going to say a word. 5.4 million children who are 8, 9, and 10 years of age, who are being used to mine with their bare hands so you can text and play Angry Birds. And here's what you can do. I gave you 2 things. The third thing is simply this. Do not upgrade your cell phone. There's some other phones. He said, oh, he's about to have a hold of it. He said, he's about to pass out. In the name of Jesus. Do not upgrade, because what do you want to get a new feature that you don't use anyway. So you can just say you got the new phone. But remember now, every time you purchase, because they're used in new cell phones. I'm not talking about the landline phones you have at your house. The cell phones, you are promoting the death of children in the Congo. Just by buying a cell phone. The cell phone you have, can it make a call? Then that's what it's for, right? Amen. You got all this other stuff. You're trying to videotape. Get a video recorder if you want that. You buy that. But simply do not upgrade your cell phone so that we can begin to pressure companies to let them know that we cannot stand for this kind of activity. Choose life. Choose life. Don't be a quasi-liberationist. What's a quasi-liberationist? You want to hear somebody talk about liberation, but you don't want to live liberation. That means that you have to do some things, choose some things, shift your own shopping habits so that it fits in order for us to choose